A possible trade with another franchise in the league to definitively solve the problem of our offensive line could turn into the boldest move by our management before the official season debut. The need to provide absolute security to the offense made our general manager open discussions behind the scenes, seeking an experienced player to immediately take over a position that requires total stability. While the management evaluates this external movement, one of our main first-round rookies demonstrated deep dissatisfaction with his debut performance in the preseason, adopting a self-critical stance that caught the attention of the entire coaching staff. And off the field, a beautiful tribute with strong military roots revealed the most emotional side of the journey of one of the most dedicated and beloved athletes in our roster, showing the unity that drives the behind the scenes of our team. Leave your like on the video, it's just a click and it helps me a lot. Nick Allegretti received positive news about his calf. Imaging tests showed no changes, which reduces the fear of a more serious injury. Even so, the situation remains delicate because the veteran has missed many training sessions this preseason. The organization counted on him to take over the center position after Tyler Biadasz's departure, but has yet to build the necessary continuity. Peters not only waived Biadasz, he also offered Allegretti an early contract extension. This decision showed confidence in the player who was trained in Illinois. However, such an important position cannot rely on uncertain availability. The center needs to work daily with the guards, identify the plays, and adjust the protection for Jayden Daniels. Without repetition, even an experienced athlete can lose rhythm. Washington may maintain the current plan and wait for full recovery. Perhaps Allegretti will return to practice, stay healthy, and resolve the concern before the debut. However, if discomfort continues to arise, the roster does not have a proven safe alternative. Julian Good-Jones and Matt Golban can help, but they still do not convey the same confidence. That's why Peters needs to analyze the market. The options among available veterans are limited. Perhaps an interesting player will emerge after the final cuts, but waiting until that moment could be dangerous. The offensive line will already be without Laremy Tunsil, a 5-time Pro Bowl selection, for a significant part, or even the entire 2026 season. Losing Tunsil while also dealing with instability at center could jeopardize Daniels' development. In this scenario, a bold trade starts to make sense. Adam Peters could call the Las Vegas Raiders and ask about Jackson Powers Johnson. The player was excellent at Oregon before being selected 44th overall in the 2024 draft. In the last 2 seasons, he has shown solid performance, although he has yet to reach the expected level of prominence. Powers Johnson began his career as a center, but currently plays as a right guard. A return to his original position could be interesting for Washington. The athlete knows the role, has professional experience, and could offer a more prepared solution than a last-minute gamble. For the Commanders, it would be a way to protect the line without solely relying on Allegretti's recovery. But the trade would carry clear risks. Powers Johnson finished the 2025 season after only 7 games due to an ankle injury. Additionally, he left training camp early this week and did not participate in the preseason game against Houston. If his absence indicates another relevant issue, it would be irresponsible to trade assets for a player without a guarantee of availability. The situation changes completely if the exit was just a precaution. If Powers Johnson is healthy and ready to return, the negotiation becomes more interesting. Washington needs to find a balance between cost, experience, and physical safety. Peters cannot act out of anxiety, but he also cannot ignore a weakness that could put Daniels in danger every game. The general manager has already shown that he doesn't usually stand still when he identifies a problem. After the release of Moody, it became clear that Peters values current performance over reputation. The center position received criticism during the offseason, and any new failure could increase pressure on the front office. Powers Johnson is just an idea, but it's an idea worth examining. While the front office evaluates possible moves, Sonny Styles is working to correct his own debut. The rookie linebacker participated in only 1 defensive series against Miami, precisely in the drive in which the Dolphins advanced 93 yards and scored a touchdown. After watching the video, Styles did not blame his teammates nor hide behind the result. The player identified specific issues in his footwork and hand usage. For a linebacker, these fundamentals define the ability to escape blocks and reach the runner. Styles acknowledged that he started slow, but he also remembered that it was his first game in the NFL. This self-criticism is important, especially for an athlete selected 7th overall in the 2026 draft. The next goal is to start better. If Dan Quinn gives him another chance against Detroit, Styles wants to step onto the field already focused, understand the formation, and react without delay. The rookie doesn't know how many snaps he will get, as that decision depends on the coaching staff. Even so, the intention is clear, to turn the self-criticism into immediate growth. Styles also explained that the game becomes simpler as practices progress. With each block of 3 days, the linebacker recognizes formations more quickly and understands better the reason for each call. It's not enough to know which play is being executed. It's necessary to understand what the defense is trying to prevent and what response the opposing offense is likely to seek. This understanding increases what's called football IQ. Coach DJ has insisted on this part of development, and Styles seems to be absorbing the message. The player stated that the ball remains the same regardless of the level, but the speed, technique, and strength of the blocks require adaptation. The simplicity of the phrase does not diminish the difficulty of the task. Against Miami, Styles realized that he needed to better use his wingspan. The linemen try to grab, knock down, and take the linebacker out of the play. To avoid this, the defender needs to keep his feet active, position his hands correctly, and escape contact at the right moment. These details may seem small, but they determine whether the defense will be able to stop a run before it grows. The next chance against Detroit will be more than just a new presentation. It will be an opportunity to show that the rookie learns quickly. The coaching staff does not expect perfection, but seeks reaction. If Styles corrects the slow start, improves angles, and gets to the ball faster, the first series against Miami will only remain as a normal stage of adaptation. The challenge increases because the defensive depth is being tested by injuries. Odafe Oweh suffered a calf strain, Kelvon Chasen is dealing with a knee issue, and Jordan Magee is sidelined due to a shoulder injury. Quinn did not treat these cases as long-term problems, but the absence of 3 players reduces the options available in practice. For Styles, this could mean more responsibility. The committee needs to know if the rookie is ready to step up for longer in case a starter is unavailable. At the same time, there is no reason to rush his development. The organization should provide enough repetitions for growth without turning a difficult first performance into a definitive evaluation. This is where the discussion about Peters and the center position resurfaces. A team with several injured players needs depth in all areas. If Allegretti cannot maintain a practice streak, the line loses stability. If the defense does not get Oweh, Chason, and Magee back, Styles may receive more snaps sooner than expected. Each problem increases the value of an external solution. Even with all these concerns, there is a story that shows another side of the Commanders. Jeremy Reaves attended the inauguration of the National World War II Memorial on the National Mall in Washington on July 28th. In partnership with USAA, the safety helped celebrate an immersive structure that honors more than 41 million Americans who served the country. The experience had personal significance for Reaves because his parents were part of the armed forces. His father served in the U.S. Army, and his mother served in the Air Force. Before visiting the memorial, the player did not know exactly what to expect. The historical dimension of Washington is enormous, but the visit took on a much deeper meaning when he recognized his own family in that history. Reaves realized that the memorial does not represent just a distant number. Each honored person has a story, a family, and a specific sacrifice. The safety spoke about the service that crosses generations, passing from brothers to children and grandchildren. For his family, this reality is not abstract. His parents chose to put others first. This idea deeply moved the player. Reaves stated that military sacrifice represents one of the greatest demonstrations of courage, as it involves choosing the safety and freedom of others before one's own. As a professional athlete, he has a public platform, but he made it clear that his gratitude existed long before his NFL career. The partnership with USAA also made sense because of this shared mission. Reaves explained that the organization works to honor people who contributed and continue to contribute to the country. The safety identifies with this purpose because he wants to respect those who took on difficult responsibilities so that others could live and work freely. Reaves encouraged Commanders fans to visit the memorial attentively. The structure is near the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and combines digital panels with interactive kiosks. Visitors can search for names of family members and others who served. This possibility makes the experience personal, allowing each visitor to find their own connection. The player also admitted that he underestimated the number of Americans who served since the Revolutionary War. Before the visit, he imagined something between 5 and 6 million. Upon discovering that the number exceeds 40 million, he realized the magnitude of the sacrifice. Reaves urged people to observe the details and take the time to absorb the presented history. This message aligns with the type of leadership that Washington expects from Reaves. The safety has had to fight for space throughout his career and knows the value of persistence. Now, his experience can help the secondary on the field and also represent the franchise off of it. The tribute showcased a player aware of the responsibility he carries. While Peters evaluates whether he needs a new center, Styles works to evolve, and Reaves represents the organization's values. The roster is going through a defining phase. Every practice has consequences. A good performance can secure snaps, an injury can open a spot, a front office decision can alter the structure of an entire position. Fans need to pay close attention to everything. In the middle of the line, Allegretti is still the most likely solution as long as he can stay healthy. Powers Johnson would be an interesting alternative, but his own physical condition raises doubts. On defense, Styles has the chance to respond to his debut against Miami, while Oweh, Chason, and Magee need to return without complications. Washington cannot trade one concern for a greater one. The preseason also serves to measure maturity. Styles did not like his performance, watched the video, and identified the fundamentals he needs to correct. Reeves used his visibility to thank people who rarely receive attention. Peters, for his part, needs to make cold decisions, even when they involve popular players or previous bets. As a fan, there's pride in seeing the franchise seeking more speed, competitiveness, and depth. There's also concern because the offensive line could still leave Daniels exposed and the defense is losing important repetitions. If Allegretti cannot stabilize the center and Powers Johnson is available, should Adam Peters risk a trade with Las Vegas? Or would the best decision be to trust the current roster until the end of the season?